Hello everybody. So this is my second video on my channel. I really wanted to take a moment and just go through my magazine collection. Anybody who knows me knows that I have a serious issue when it comes to magazines and I buy way too many. But I really love the ones that I have, and it's the one thing I've really stuck to collecting over the years. I got rid of a lot of other collections, but magazines just kind of stuck. They're generally fashion magazines. I just love fashion photography. I love the vision behind it, the stories that come from it. Just love them. So since they're always kind of in a shelf, hiding away from people, I thought I'd take this opportunity to just kind of quickly review them, go through them, show why I love them so much, some of my favorite cover stars, all of that stuff. So I'm hoping to keep this at a decent length. I've already recorded this once and it was way too long. So we're gonna give this a try again. So here's my magazine collection. Hope you enjoy it. Alright, so the majority of my magazines actually happen to be British. There are the occasional French and American magazines, but British is my go-to, which leads to everything in my life. I mean, everything I watch on TV is British generally. All the radio I listen to is British radio. It's my thing. England's my favorite country. It's where I've always wanted to live, so it makes sense that all my stuff is British. Also, I find American magazines extremely boring overall. You can look at British Vogue versus American Vogue, British Elle versus American Elle. It's just no comparison. I don't know why American magazines are so boring and dull, but they are. Even though I do have all of these, and all of these are British or American, I just find them really boring. I just feel like there's no creativity in them, and I don't know why they can't just take a cue from other countries and create interesting magazines. Anyways, moving on. So I figured I would start with my favorite magazine, which is Elle UK. I really love them. This is Elle. I have a few favorites. The majority of my magazines I feel like are Alexa Chung. She's on like at least 3 of these, multiples of these, couple of those, and a couple of these, I think. Her, Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen, Elizabeth Olsen, Erica Linder, Alicia Vikander, Charlotte Gainsbourg, Chloe Sevigny, Pixie Geldof, who else haven't I said? Cole Sprouse, Kristen Stewart, Dakota Johnson. Those are like the big list of people that if they're on the cover of a magazine, I'm going to buy it, and I let myself buy it. So yeah, let's see. My favorites are this one with Kristen Stewart. I love this one. She's gorgeous. I'll kind of flip through some of these as I go. Alexa Chung. More Kristen Stewart. Some other ones in here. Pixie Geldof. I went through quite a bit to get this issue because it's just not easy to find in Michigan. I got some Olsens here, Mary-Kate and Ashley. I had to get both covers for the same issue. More Alexa Chung, shocking. What else do I have in here? Alexa Chung. And I kind of want to get down to more Kristen Stewart. More Kristen Stewart, shocking. See, Chloe Sevigny. And probably my favorite issue that I own is this one, which was the second issue I ever bought. There was a photo shoot with Kaya Scodelario in it that I really wanted it for, and there's some really cool artwork from Pete Doherty, and some really amazing photos from Rankin. So yeah, I will flip through these really quickly so you can see a little bit of my favorite issues. I just love this magazine so much. Alright, moving on to Vogue. One of my favorites. Let's get these out of here. 2, 3. So when it comes to British Vogue, some of my favorites have to be good old Florence Welch. Being the goddess that she is absolutely gorgeous and so naturally beautiful. I mean, even seeing her live, you can see that she has like barely anything on her face, like maybe like a base of like CC cream, and she's just flawlessly gorgeous and sounds like an angel. Let's see, a couple more. Alexa Chung's shocking. Dakota Johnson, who's one of my top lists I get a lot of. Alicia Vikander, love this woman. And of course, more Alexa Chung. I have some more. She's here with like models on the cover, Victoria Beckham on the cover, but these are generally my favorites. Some of my favorite stylish ladies. And with my British Vogue, I have my Tatler magazines, which I don't buy very often because of the fact that I feel like Tatler is very out of reach for most people. They're very much like catering to like super uber rich people, so I don't really get it much. But there are a couple issues I got here. This one is Clemence Posey, who I forgot to mention in my list of people I will buy if they're on the cover. One of the French girls I just love. Her, Charlotte Gainsbourg, and Lou Doylin, who I think I missed on my list as well. Everything they're on I get. And then this Pixie Geldof one, which I actually had to have a friend bring into town with her one time. I had just moved back to Michigan from being in Schaumburg, and she came out to visit and brought me this issue because it was nowhere to be seen anywhere in Michigan. So, yeah, that one's kind of a special one. So, yeah, these are some of my favorite as far as Vogue and Tatler. Yeah. Let's take a look at a few of my last British magazines. I've got, let's see here, Glamour, more Alexa Chung and Kristen Stewart going on here, and Billie Piper, who I forgot to mention. I love her. I also got everything with her on the cover of it. Oops, cats are done eating. What else we got here? Marie Claire. Kaya Scodelario on the cover. I love Kaya. I think I also have more Billie Piper here. Yay! Jennifer Lawrence. She looks so young on that cover. I can't get it right. A couple issues of Cosmo, which I don't read a lot of because I think most of these magazines are full of bullshit. But I really do enjoy Fern Cotton's sense of style. I think she's got a really funky sense of style. Like watching her leave BBC Radio when they would get like pictures of Rapid. She always wore like, the coolest clothes and things. I thought, like, how did that ever even come across her mind to wear? Because it looks so cool, and I would never think that would work. Hey, shenanigans. So yeah, like really cute socks with strappy heels and these like crazy outfits that I just like. This outfit on the cover doesn't really do her justice for her style, but I think she's a really cool sense of style personally. And then last but not least, I have a bunch of InStyle magazines. I've got like Daisy Lowe, Addie Stain, Nicola Roberts, who I happen to think is the prettiest member of Girls Aloud, personally. More Daisy Lowe and a couple other random covers. I really love this issue with Agnes because they did this really mod looking shoot with her that I just really, really loved, which is so cute. Yeah, I love it. Just 100% suits her. Love it. So yeah, that is the British magazine. So let's take a peek inside these, and then I will show you some of my American magazines, which I probably won't spend nearly as much time on because they're a little bit more random. But yeah, there's a couple up there that I really, really love, so I might show those. And then these are mostly some oldies. So yeah. Alright, so American fashion magazines. I don't have too many of them. I mean, I've got a decent amount, but these are some of my favorites. So going with Marie Claire, I of course have Mary Kate Olsen, because she's my favorite. Again, I can't get past, I know, it's bad. And then Alicia Vikander, of course. Again, as I said before, love her. Moving into Vogue, I really love this Best Dress issue. There's a whole bunch of stuff in here that I love. Mary-Kate and Ashley, of course, are in there. Charlotte Gainsbourg and Lou Doylin. They're just some really, really good shit in here that I love. One of my favorite issues is this one with Kate Moss on the cover. It's the big September issue from 2011 that featured her wedding to Jamie Hince, and it was absolutely beautiful. I'm really sad they're not together anymore because I thought they were adorable. But anyways, regardless, this entire issue, the shoot in there is amazing, which I will show a little bit of. And then this issue with Elle Fanning on the cover, done by, I believe, is Annie Leibovitz. It was just a beautiful shoot, very fairy tale-esque. I love it. Then I have some Elle magazines. I really love Rooney Mara. Not only is she an awesome actress, she is just really great vegan animal rights activist, and I'm pretty sure she's actually engaged to Joaquin Phoenix, who is also another talented actor, vegan and animal rights activist. She also happens to have a really, really beautiful vegan fashion line out called, I believe it's Hyreth is what it's called. I can never pronounce it correctly. But they make beautiful clothing. I really wish I could afford some of it. It's beautiful. We've got some Alicia Vikander here. Again, because love her. And then the ever gorgeous Zoe Kravitz, who I still believe her mother is one of the most beautiful women on the planet. And she looks so much like her. It's ridiculous. She's just stunning. Stunning. Absolutely gorgeous. So yeah, those are my few of my favorites in the major fashion magazines, and then I'll go through a couple there. I probably won't spend much time on those, and I'll probably run through the music because I don't want this to be like an hour-long video. take a quick second and talk about this issue. This one's from like 2005, right after I graduated high school. And this brings back a lot of memories for me because I was with my dad in Indiana at a grocery store because he had a job interview in Indiana. So I saw this issue in that grocery store and had to get it. So this always brings back that memory of that road trip with my dad. Super random, but it's pretty old. And it's the year that I graduated high school, so crazy memories. So last but not least with this bookshelf I'm going to talk about are some of my favorite ones that I own. They're kind of ridiculous. They're interesting, like one-offs I've gotten, or they don't like fit in with anything else, or they're just really, really, really big. Like this one, for example, is huge. But they're really cool. I got some cool issues of magazines that I just find and I think they're really cool and they're worth buying. So first one is this one. I don't know if it's pronounced Versus or just VS Magazine. I have no idea. All I know is that it's got Lizzie Olsen, Zoe Kravitz. I do love Dakota Fanning, Abby Lee in there. Some really great people in here. It was cool because they had like these cinematic like story shoots in there. So I thought it was really cool. And I kept that one. Let's see. I have a couple issues of W Magazine. This is the most recent one that's got Cole Sprouse and Lee Reinhardt on the cover. It's got some Twilight vibes going on the cover, but it's a pretty cool shoot. And then this one just had some really beautiful pictures taken by Jürgen Teller that I just really, really, really love. I got one issue of Interview Magazine that's got Dakota Johnson in it. It's this really beautiful photo shoot that I love. Love Cat Magazine. We've got Allison Mossart. Can't go wrong with her. This is a men's magazine called King Kong Garçon. It's got some really crazy shit in here, so I won't really scroll through it too much with you because I don't want to get like struck with some nudity shit on my hands. I got Flaunt Magazine. This was actually my birthday gift last year, or Christmas gift last year. Really great stuff in here. I love this issue of Metal Hammer. It came out with Hymns album Tears on Tape, their last album that they released. It's just really cool part to have. One of my French magazines got Elizabeth Olsen in it. Can't read a word in here, but the photo shoot is probably one of my favorite photo shoots in any of my magazines is this one. So I will go through that a little bit. Vogue Australia, there's an entire photo shoot in here that is kind of a tribute to Adam Ant, and I'm obsessed with it. And then a couple Harper's Bazaar from Australia and England, with Alexa Chung, of course. This one has been featured online so many times, everything in that photo shoot. It's crazy. Lily James again. I love Lily James. And I actually found this issue while I was in Kroger one time, which was really random. They don't generally carry other countries' magazines. I have a French Glamour. Again, Alexa Chung, therefore I've got it. And then a couple French Vogue issues. This one is because it has Jane Birkin, Charlotte Gainsbourg, and Lou Doylin, three of my favorite people on it. And then last but not least, this one has Erica Linder on it, who I love her. I love her, I love her, I love her. She's awesome. So I couldn't not get it. So yeah. I have a few French magazines. I can't read any of it, but I don't really care. keep this video not ridiculously long, I'm going to really quickly just kind of roll through some of these magazines. To give you a gist of what's in here, I've got some old issues of Entertainment Weekly and a couple of like random free magazines from Chicago, and some OK and Hello magazines. And these are really just random magazines that have things in them that I love that I can't get rid of. This story right here is kind of funny. This issue is actually from the week that my little cousin Carter was born. And I actually bought this in the hospital store while we were waiting to hear if she had given birth or not. So yeah, it's from May 2nd, 2011, that week. And he was born on April 30th. So yeah, good story behind this one. It's got two of my favorite people, plus one of my favorite people were born that week. So yeah, let me just run through. All the alternative presses are super old. I had a lot of them, but I've narrowed it down to pretty much the ones that really had an effect on me, bands that I listened to in high school or that have a special place for me. So those are really the ones I kept. I used to buy them every month, but I really narrowed it down. So I'll just run through those really quickly. So yeah, that is the large chunk. My last little chunk that I'm going to show you is my more expensive magazines that I buy on a relatively regular basis. A few of my favorites, a couple that I use specifically for a collage book that I create. So I'll go through those. I have a massive collection of nylon magazines, but I think I'm going to save those for a separate video because there's years and years worth of them. And it would just take too long in this video. So let's get to those pricier high-end magazines, shall we? Hey, bud. You helping me out? Are you helping me, shenanigans? You're so beautiful. Like, look at this boy. I mean, seriously. Alright. So, last but not least for this video, here is my collection of, I was considering these like my fancy magazines. I started with a lot of these, like the ID magazine, the Pop magazine. These all started off originally as like one magazine I bought to cut up and use for a collage book that I create. But then it kind of just snowballed from there. So let me take you through a few of them and tell you what led to this whole situation. Alright, so this issue is one I purchased online because there's a couple articles in there I really liked, including some stuff about Cole Sprouse. And some of the kids from Stranger Things, stuff like that. Really beautifully shot, really well put together magazine. This one was, I'm not gonna lie, specifically purchased for Cole Sprouse. That I will not lie. But yeah. I have a couple issues of Wonderland magazine right here. So this one is from when 5 Feet Apart came out, which I really love that movie, and if you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it. This particular issue I really wanted. It took me forever to find it online. I finally found somebody in France on eBay had it, so I purchased it from France. Came all the way over from France for me. I have one issue of British Girls magazine, which I honestly had never heard of until Alexa Chung posted that this was something she was doing, and so I purchased it. It's got some really great photos of her in here. Again, as you know by now, I love Alexa Chung. Let's see here. Let's go through Love Magazine. Alright, so Love Magazine, this is by far my favorite magazine. I purchased it every season that they come out, starting, this was the first issue I bought, and I bought it strictly to cut up, and that was a third away. But I kind of became obsessed with the photography in it, so it just kind of snowballed into a every year obsession. So it comes out twice a year. It comes out for spring, summer, and then autumn, winter. But yeah, it's by far my favorite magazine. It's not cheap. I believe it's about, let's see here, $18 an issue. But like I said, it only comes out twice a year. But yeah, this is my favorite magazine by far. Like, they're not little. They're very heavy. They're like freaking novels, I swear. But yes, they are just amazing. And I really need to get the new one. I haven't been able to find it in stores because I waited too long. So I have a feeling I'm going to end up paying extra money online to get the new one. So we'll see what happens there. Another magazine. This is one that, again, I purchased originally this one to cut up with the intention of getting rid of it when I got everything out of it I wanted. But I didn't end up getting rid of it. And then I've purchased other issues since then. This one specifically has a massive, this beautiful shoot of the collection from Comme des Garçons that I really, really, really love. And then this one has Dakota Johnson in it. I believe they were promoting Suspiria, because there's a whole shoot with Tilda Swinton in here as well that is just absolutely stunning. So yeah, this is my collection of another. I have a feeling in the future they're definitely one I'll end up buying more of if they keep on the path that they're on right now. ID magazine is one that's very hit or miss for me. I've bought several over the years. Sometimes they're really great, and I especially love them for font and text for my collage books that I do. So they make really, really great pages of just text and font that I love to cut up and use in there. So these are really pretty cut up, but they have really great content in them, and they like to focus a lot on like real regular people, which I think is really great. They're not all about like being super made up and just over the top ridiculous and photoshopped. So I really like that about a lot of their photos. They're very real. This issue in particular is the very first one I ever got. It's from 2009. With Georgia May Jagger on the cover. Another random family memory, as I remember buying this on the way for my dad to get his taxes done. We stopped at a Barnes & Noble for some reason on the way there. I think we were just early. And I bought this because I just thought she was gorgeous. It's been through a lot. It's moved several times. So, yeah, it's been through quite a bit. But I really love this issue. And it's a really good magazine. And last but not least, up here I have one random lonely issue of Pop Magazine. It's generally a really cool magazine. I don't really ever buy it. There's never enough in there for me to justify the purchase of. I did really like this photo shoot with Britney Spears. I'm not a huge Britney fan, but it's a cool photo shoot, and it's very Japanese inspired, this whole issue, so I really like this issue. So yeah, that pretty much concludes most of my magazine collection. As I said, there's all of this to cover, but that will be another video at another time because there's a lot. There's a whole story behind my obsession with nylon, so getting into that right now would just be a whole situation. So yeah, we'll do that later. All right, so that is most of my magazine collection. If you've made it this far with me, thank you for watching. Um, yeah, I just really like having surrounding myself with things that I can look back at if I'm ever looking for like inspiration or um, anything like that. I just love that I can pull out a magazine and I can find all these really beautiful images that keep me inspired and give me new ideas all the time. So, yeah. So, as I said before, I will do a separate video for the nylon magazines. That's a whole other thing. But yes, as you can see, I love magazines. They're a serious addiction. Yeah. So, thank you for watching. I will be back later this week with a new video right after the new year, kind of recapping 2019, the great things that I did and that happened, some not so great, and kind of going over my intentions for the new year and what I hope to accomplish. So, yeah, until next time, see you guys later.